Hey, I'm here with Jiu-Jitsu phenom Tye Ruotolo, who's defending his one championship grappling belt against Dante Leon in the co-main event of One Fight Night 31 on May 2nd. Um, how's it going, man?
Great, man. How are you? Appreciate the compliment.
I'm great, man. Appreciate the time. All right, I'm gonna start
Yes,
you
sir.
off with a real softball question. All right, make sure hit blast it out the park. Assuming you guys are planning to do CJI again this year, which one of you and your brother is gonna win it?
Oh, that's a good call. I guess statistically you would go with my brother, right? But yeah, I did have a bit of a shocker the last one. You know, that's gonna be a tough one. Right now, yeah, it's hard to throw my brother in the bus, but I think I'll take him out this time around.
Hey, I just wanted to, throw, spice things up a little bit, make you uncomfortable.
No, 100%.
But yeah, I mean, so does that mean you are definitely planning on competing at CJI?
You know, I haven't necessarily looked into all the logistics of it. I know it's a team concept. I don't know if it's like the team quintet or how exactly it's going on, but I most likely will be doing it. Not 100% sure, but most likely. Got to double check with one. But yeah,
Awesome. But for right now, your opponent is Dante Leon. How do you think he compares to other opponents you've faced in one championship? You fought like giant MMA fighters like Renier de Ridder, pure grapplers like Joseph Chen and Isaac Mitchell, even some Sambists from Dagestan. But yeah, how does Dante
yeah,
Leon compare?
yeah. Dante's a beast. He's got to be up there with one of the toughest guys I fought for sure. I put him right there with Joseph and Isaac Mitchell. Dante is very smart tactically, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's very well rounded. He's a hard guy to put away for sure. But yeah, I got a couple things in mind, and yeah, I'm excited, stoked to have the opportunity to scrap against him again.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited. Uh, about your brother again. Also, your brother is now 3-0 in MMA, and his
Oh,
striking, especially. Ooh, you good?
yes, sir. Yeah, you cut
Okay.
out for a second. Got you now.
All right, sweet. Your brother is now 3-0 in MMA, and his striking, especially, actually surprised people in one of his fights against Ahmed Mujtaba. Was any part of you worried when he started trading blows with that guy just on the feet, an experienced MMA fighter? I mean, a guy with like 14 pro MMA fights.
Yeah, kids actually got good hands. We grew up scrapping each other, which was like so. It's good you get like the reactions a little bit necessary. You don't get the technique so much, but you kind of grow up just like, all right, ready to fight a little bit, and you're scrapping all the time, and I see him. It was so funny watching that fight with Ahmed because we kind of had like a little game plan, like work your way in, get to the body. And he goes just high low over. Coach called it, boom, and then he's like, I thought he slept it when I first seen the punch, impact. I was like, oh shit! I was like, oh, Kate's got it, So I was stoked to see it, but yeah, his striking impresses me all the time. He's got some sick hands for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask if you expected that he could knock him down, but it sounds like you knew that yeah, his striking was up there. Um, what about your own? I mean, I've heard your own MMA debut could be around the corner at some point. What about your own striking? I mean, it sounds like you've been training since you were a kid, also. I mean, not training, fighting with your brother, but have you been training a bit more of the MMA now or still mostly grappling?
Yeah, totally. A lot more. It's a wild sport for sure. It's so much different than anything else I've done. It's not like boxing or jiu-jitsu. You can't compare it to anything. It's its own sport and it's super super difficult for sure. But Ken and I are having so much fun diving into the MMA realm, and yeah, we're excited to be have get some more fights on our record for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, American, obviously, one championship coming to Denver again for the yearly event, and I was hoping maybe that we might be able to see you there, maybe even in MMA. I mean, is there a chance of that?
Yeah, there could be definitely be a possibility for sure.
All
I
right.
want it. I want it for sure. It just depends. I'm not looking past Dante right now.
Yeah,
I wanna
yeah,
make
of
sure everything
course.
goes to plan on May 2nd. But yeah, as soon as that passes, there's a lot of exciting options for sure, and doing it at home base. And Denver's not home, but it's U.S. territory, and,
Yeah.
and I'm comfortable there. So, I'd be stoked for sure.
Yeah, hoping I can see you out there. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
man.
for MMA, for striking, if you had to pick one, I mean, you're in an organization that has all the martial arts pretty much. If you had to pick one striker from one championship to copy for your own striking style, not necessarily like the level, because there's some of the best in the world at striking, but the
Man, just
style.
like the 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 fan in me would say Rod Tang, right? But I don't know if that'd be the smartest person to follow, because I don't
Yeah.
know if my chin can. I don't know if I have the same chin effect. But
Nobody
man,
does.
aside from that, there's so many sick strikers. I've always loved Super Bond style, so slick with his high kicks all in the pocket.
Yeah.
Super, yeah. I've always liked Super Bond as far as Muay Thai goes. But yeah, I mean, there's so many insane guys. It's hard to choose from.
Hey, well, I've been expecting a high kick knockout from you in that MMA debut now whenever it happens.
I'll be
Um,
stretching my hips, but I'll be keep them ready to go.
awesome. Um,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so has life changed now for you guys now that like you guys have your own gym, you're like basically global stars in grappling. I mean, do you like has life changed? Do you try to like live it up in luxury, enjoy the finer things, or do you try to stay like humble, simple, and grounded?
Man, I do my best to stay as humble and grounded as possible. I feel like the the more that you do and the more that you kind of accomplish, the more that people want to help you and stuff, which is amazing. But also, uh, what's the saying? Where there's a lot of tall grass, there can be a lot of snakes too, right? So, I'm
Yeah,
super super grateful for my circle around me and the people and all the support that I get. We're super grateful for and I try to do my best just to stay pretty low key. My life's pretty simple. Not much has changed for sure. Just try to take care of my friends and family and make sure everything's simple and good. Make sure my body's healthy and yeah,
awesome.
good.
Um, I wanted to ask you one technique question for about Darces specifically. In the MMA world where I come from, we've seen people are kind of amazed, I guess, by Islam Makhachev connecting his hand to his forearm to finish the Darce rather than the bicep. What are the advantages like and disadvantages I guess you see of that, and what do you prefer yourself for finishing the Darce?
Yeah, that one is more of like a crank. The way that he kind of uses his body and the leverage. That one you kind of almost need to hook the leg 10 out of 10 times to get the finish. Really hard to get it without hooking the leg. Um, and it works. Obviously, worked on Moicano, who's got great jiu-jitsu,
Yeah,
right? So yeah, it's I would say it's almost more derived from like a catch wrestling concept more so than jiu-jitsu
yeah,
with the crank. The darts that my brother and I do, it's a little bit more traditional jiu-jitsu, right? You just beat the arm all the way through, and you have the blade of the arm on the neck. Um, and yeah, just each choke's got. They both do the same sense. They do the same thing in the sense where the blade is cutting off the circulation on one
yeah,
side, right? That's super important with the darts. If your arm is flat, then it's going to be hard to dart someone, right? But if you got that
yeah.
blade cutting into their neck, and when you have that wrist grip with Islam, it's really easy to kind of get that torque with the blade into the neck, So yeah. If you're doing a traditional dart, you got to make sure you do that with your arm and your blade. Otherwise, you'll probably most likely not get a tap.
Well, thanks for the tips. Um.
Little
We almost out of time, but just I think two more questions. When you guys started out, like grappling was there was like not much money in grappling, right? I mean, now you have guys who are paying a lot more. You have one championship, Flow Grappling, CJI coming onto the scene. Do you think that things are looking good for people who want to make grappling into a real career, or does the sport still have a long ways to go in that regard?
yeah, it's super capable, and it's kind of like one of those things you got to be at the top if you really want to make a living. You really got to put in your work and try your hardest. I know like the middle of like the guys who necessarily aren't at the top are kind of making a hard time getting the bigger paychecks, but things like once you're one champion, I don't think it's any secret anymore. The belt pay is incredible, and it's you compete a couple times a year and you're making good money, and it's really amazing the fact that our sport has gone to that point. It took a while, like I said, my parents got me into jiu-jitsu. I was 3 years old and there was no money in the sport at
Yeah,
all, so it was kind of wild them taking a chance on my brother and I, giving us jiu-jitsu privates, throwing us, just dedicating their lives. My mom would drive to San Diego from Huntington Beach like hour and a half 3 4 times a week when we were kids. There's no money in the sport. And so the fact that it's there, and just so grateful. We got organizations like one with one's belt pay is hard to beat. Unmatchable really. And then you got UFC fight. You got all these different promotions coming out with making it possible for sure. So it's really exciting stuff for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you said they took a risk and it definitely paid off looking where you guys are at now. Um, yeah.
Thank you,
Just
thank
close.
you. Yeah. So,
Ooh, sorry, it cut out for a second there. It got robotic, but I think we're good. All right. Just close things out. How do you get this one done? How do you defend your grappling world title on May 2nd?
I don't know exactly how. I think he's gonna be a little bit defensive, in my opinion. Judging off of our last match, I think he's going to have that in the back of his mind a little bit. But that being said, I'm going to hunt to his head and find his head as quick as possible, for sure.
All
So
right.
however I get there, whether it's a Doris or guillotine, yeah, just get to the head and finish him.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time. Good luck on May 2nd, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Peace.
Oh, thank you.